JLB, back with a new video after another long hiatus, simply because of all the changes that have been in effect due to the Child Protection Act that's been affecting YouTube as of late. So due to that, my videos are going to be a little bit fewer and far between, so you're going to have to bear with me on it. But anyway, for today's topic, we are going to be discussing a rather, what's the word I'm looking for? Obscure, if not very strange movie. That being called Heaven and Earth Magic. Now, to be honest, I've never even heard this movie before starting the research for this video. It's supposed to be an avant-garde cutout animated movie directed by some sort of visual artist and filmmaker by the name of Harry Everett Smith. And apparently, from what I've researched, it was originally released in 1957, but it was re-edited several times, and the final version, the 12th cut of it, I think, which is why it also has the title of Number 12, The Magic Feature. It was re-edited and released for the 12th time in 1962. Now, as I said, this is a animated cutout film, which means it uses cutouts that basically uses cutout animated Victorian photographs on a black backdrop, and there are various yet often repeated and processed sound effects that form an audio collage for the soundtrack. Now, the film is 66 minutes, and that cut of the film was released on DVD and VHS from the Harry Smith archives. And of course, it has been screened at least once every few years or so at one-time cinema events, often with live improvised music instead of the film's actual soundtrack. For example, it was screened at John Zorn's Essential Cinema concerts, where a group of musicians performed behind the film while it was being projected onto the screen. But I'm going to try and explain the plot, even though it's rather bizarre. The first part of the film depicts the heroine of the piece. I can only assume that a female is in the lead role, having a toothache consequent to the loss of a very valuable watermelon, her dentistry, and transportation to heaven. Am I reading this right? Yeah, the plot is pretty much obscure in description. And a fellow by the name of P. Adams Sidney uncovered many of the cutout figures that were from a periodical that was, in fact, published on the day of Edward VII, dedicated to the Great Sewer of London, which is actually referenced at the end of the film for some reason. Now, the film is cut into different halves, like most films sometimes are. The first half of the film was outlined as is by Smith, because the heroine of the piece becomes under the influence of a powerful anesthetic, and the effect was off, leading her to return to Earth for some odd reason. Yeah, the plot is kinda out there. Some girl gets a toothache, goes to the dentist, ends up having hallucinations, and I think it's supposed to show the effects on dentists' gas on your mind, but I can't really be sure. The plot's definitely out there, so I don't really have much else to say about this. Well, aside from the Mondo Bizarro plot, the film was actually featured in a reference book called 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die. I haven't really read the book, to be honest, but I think I don't really know why it made it. I mean, it's just the description I found in my research. It's definitely a film that's out there. It's not exactly your typical animated film. So if you like abstract sort of stuff, or if you're interested in very bizarre visuals, I'd say this film is worth at least one look. Although, bear in mind, if I do see it and if you do see it, none of us might be able to make sense of it. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on next time for my next movie review.